Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Liz Marden and today we're going to talk about how to take care of your pets going into lockdown number 2. So November's lockdown at the minute lasting from November the 5th to the 2nd of December 2020. So I know this is a worrying time for many people, especially with work, loss of jobs, businesses closing, things like that. So the last thing I want you to be doing is worrying about your pets as well. So a lot of people found coming out of lockdown number 1, the first lockdown, that a lot of pets had separation anxieties. They had perhaps socialisation issues with people and other dogs, and we just want to try and avoid that. Okay, so that's what this little presentation is all about for you, so that you can look after your pets the best you can during lockdown number 2. So the first thing to think about is, if you're working from home, still try to have some time away from your pets. And this is really important to try and prevent separation anxiety from occurring when you later then go back to work and normality returns to our lives. So if you are working from home, try and perhaps have a room which you turn into a home office, or a location where you can perhaps shut yourself away from your pets for short periods of time while you work. So it could be that you give yourself little breaks. So you could do a morning kind of stint, have a little tea break, spend some time with your pets, go back in until lunch, have your lunch break, etc. Okay, so try and have a little bit of time away from your pets. As I said, this can be having a home office, it can be shutting them into a different room for a little period of time, but it's important that they have time away from you so that they can get used to your absence again when you go back to work. So do still try and have some time away from your pets. Give them their own space where they can take themselves off to for some chill time. Again, really important, especially if your house is quite busy and there are a lot of people that are at home when perhaps normally your pets are used to having the house to themselves while you're at work. So make sure there is a room or a space where they can go to just to have some quiet time. So this can be, for cats, perhaps a nice windowsill in a different room that they can go look out of and have a bit of cat TV. It can be a nice bed. It can be a cat jungle gym, so like a climbing frame, anything like that. It can be, if they're allowed outside, letting them go outside and leaving them to it. For dogs, it can be perhaps even a crate where they can take themselves off to, and when they're in that crate, nobody disturbs them. So the main thing is, if your animal decides to go off somewhere, give them somewhere that's comfortable and nice and warm and cozy that they can take themselves off to. And if they choose to do that, let them go and let them have some time alone. Don't follow them and pester them. Sleep is really important, and a lot of naughty behaviour that is seen in pets can sometimes be down to the fact that they're just absolutely knackered and overtired, and that's why perhaps they're being a little bit naughty. Okay, so do make sure they have their own space. If you were pestered 24/7, you'd probably get a bit ratty too. Exactly the same for them. Give them their own space where they can take themselves off to for some chill time. If possible, try to keep your routine as close to normal as you can. So especially with things like feed times. So if you fed your animal at 8 o'clock, for argument's sake, every single day when you're in normal work, then try to do that during lockdown as well, so they have a similar sense of routine that they can rely on when everything else is changing around them. So it just gives them that little bit of routine they can cling to. If you can as well, try and keep walks at the same time. So if you always did a lunchtime walk, for example, do that. It doesn't mean you can't do extra walks, but try and keep things as in routine as possible. So if you always did a morning walk before you went to work, try and do that. And then if you want to do another walk because it's a nice day and you're at home, by all means you can. But with that in mind, don't over exercise your animals. Okay, so that brings us nicely on to point number 4. It can be really tempting when we're at home and we're looking for things to do to think, I'll just go on another dog walk, or I'll go on loads of dog walks, or really long dog walks, for example. It's really important you remember not to over exercise your animals. Okay, so if they're used to doing short walks and all of a sudden you're taking them on marathon walks, they are going to struggle with that physically and sometimes mentally as well. So do make sure you're not over exercising your animals. By all means, take them out, enjoy the beautiful autumn weather that we're having in the second, but don't over exercise them. And finally, and this is a big one to try and remember, give them things to do on their own while you are working. Okay, so when you need to be concentrating on your work from home, rather than just expecting your animal to, be good and leave you alone, give them something to do so that they can be good and they can leave you alone and you can get your work done without constantly being pestered for attention by your animal. This can be things like stuffed Kongs, licky mats, tugging off toys are fantastic. Giving them snuffle mats that you can buy or make, giving them massive loads of like different enrichments. So save your boxes from your deliveries, stuff them with newspaper, have them as destruction boxes, or have them as boxes where they can find treats. Give them a range of toys that they can have. Just give them lots of things that they can do that don't involve your participation, that you can give them so they can have a fantastic time away from you. So again, going back to point 1, having a great time on their own, but then also with that last point 5, allowing you to really concentrate on what you need to do to get your work done. Okay, so that's 5 really quick and easy points that you can do to help your pets cope during lockdown number 2, taking care of them and you so that you can get what you need done. Thank you very much, guys. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel. It enables me to promote free and safe behaviour and training advice over the internet. Hope to see you soon.